In a world where anyone can have a podcast, Peter von Panda is one of them. Rants are taken to a whole new level. This is the Peter von Panda Podcast, a giant waste of time.
Oh, what's happening, Panda Nation? Peter von Panda back here in the studio, and I wanted to talk to you. I know I'm a little late on this, but I wanted to talk to you about the NFL and the problem with incentives. And so, hey, if you have not seen the story, Golden Tate actually got suspended for several games because he was using a fertility drug to try to get pregnant with his wife again, and he figured out that it included a banned substance. As far as I know, it didn't do anything to enhance his performance or anything like that. But then he quickly changed to a different fertility drug. He informed his agent and the NFL about it. They reviewed it and they suspended him. I think it was for 4 or 6 games. Doesn't really matter. And then he appealed, and then he lost on the appeal as well. And so what I wanted to talk to you about and just give you my opinion on it is that I think that was the wrong move, and particularly in a league that has trouble with domestic violence and drugs and sometimes murder. You know, I think something like this by Golden Tate, who's well-loved, not only by the fan base, but by his teammates, and is seen as a leader, and he did the right thing. I'm not saying that there should have been no response, because I think the NFL definitely needs to kind of set a standard that, hey, we will do things when things aren't followed, but I think it needs to be proportional or appropriate. And the one thing that was happening here, I think, is that they're really punishing people who do the right thing when they figure out that they did the wrong thing, no matter how minor it is. And so what they've said is that if this has ever happened to you, and maybe you took inadvertently a medication that has banned substance, you should just try to let it get out of your system, go on to something else, never let anyone know, because if I let someone know, if I do the right thing, I'm going to get punished. Now, I think in this case, as I said, I don't think you want to set a precedent that, hey, if you just fess up to it, we'll never do anything. I don't think that's the right thing. But suspending for games is particularly painful. It doesn't give you a time on the field. It doesn't give you a time to put plays on your tape. It reduces your value and fantasy value and all these other things. And I don't think you even get paid for that time. So what I think they should have done in the Golden Tate situation here is just fined him. And it shouldn't have been a ton, but that would have been insignificant to Golden Tate and for most players. And I think it should have been a little bit proportional to how much money they make. But Golden Tate is like a $50 million wide receiver over his career, so why not? But just give him like a $25,000 penalty or something like that. It could probably be even a $100,000 penalty, to be really honest, or even more. But I think that would have been the right response in this, and saying, and acknowledging by the NFL that, hey, this person did the right thing. You know, we're going to try to work with you. Obviously, we want to discourage this kind of behavior in the future, but suspending for several games is not the right angle on it. So that was my take on it. I think the NFL screwed up here. They had an opportunity to change the response based on the circumstances of the disclosure, and do it in a way that doesn't discourage people from coming forward, doing the right thing on their own in the future. I think what they've done here is that they have potentially made people fearful of doing the right thing in the future. So that's my take on it. That's my rant for today. Listen, Golden Tate Warriors, I love him. He was a spiritual and a motivational leader here in Detroit, and I really miss him. We have obviously not been the same without him, but wherever he goes, he's probably going to be a valuable piece of the offense. So, hey, that's it. Peter von Panda, out.
This is the Peter von Panda Podcast, a giant waste of time.